Good morning, folks. We're at a local garden in Baymount Meadows, Statesville, North Carolina. We're talking about tomatoes today. And if you look as we pan through the garden, these tomatoes are already 8 and 9 feet tall. The next thing you notice, all the fruit is about 3 or 4 feet off the ground. We've already harvested all of the lower pieces of fruit. The next thing we want to talk about is how we do it. These are all suspended from a string mounted to an overhead Buford that's just held up by T-post, ordinary green T-post. Right here is what's called a tomato clip, and you can see it grasping the string as we come around and lock it, and that's how we lock the plants to the string. Since the plants have now achieved a height higher than the Bufords, what we're going to do is when we initially put the strings there, we put a lot of excess string. So we're going to come through and lower the tomatoes down about 3 feet. That way they'll continue to grow upward and the tomatoes to pick will be back down low again. We hope you've enjoyed this video, and we're going to try to add on another section of actually lowering one of the plants. Now we're going to pick up where we left off. We were showing and illustrating how the tomatoes are vines and grow upward. But take this particular plant who's already close to 10 feet tall, and we're going to take the string that we put up. Actually, these plants were planted right at the end of May, very late for this climate, but we had so much rain you couldn't get in the garden and get it tilled. So now we loosen the string, and if you'll notice, we're just going to lower the plant. The original stem is going to just bow out, and this will allow this plant to go on and grow another 10 feet between now and frost. Tomatoes are vines, and most folks that use cages just let every sucker grow, and by the time the heat takes over in August, then the plant turns brown and dies. So we'll reach into our trusty Lowe's nail apron. We keep a handful of these tomato clips, and now we're going to upright this particular plant here, and we'll come and put a clip on it right here to support the weight of all these new baby tomatoes, and that plant will continue to grow, like I said, all the way to frost. I hope you've enjoyed today's tomato tips from Statesville, North Carolina, and hope you have a large day. All right, we're going to try to wrap this up now. You saw that last tomato that we lowered, and here you can see the original stem is going to bow out. As we continue to take more tomatoes off of it, we'll lower it even more, and the stem will flow right along the bottom of the ground there. We'll take one more that's really tall and it's bending over. If we don't hurry up and change it, the stem will break because of the weight of the tomatoes on it. So we're going to take our string, as you can see, we're going to lower this tomato plant. You can see it coming, easing on down. We're going to lower this one about a good 2 feet. Wrap our string back around the top. We use the same tomato clips that we clip the string to the tomato, and we use that to lock the strings in place. So they come in very handy. You can get those at a online agricultural supply house. And then we're going to take this tomato that you can see is bent over, and we can then come and clip it up. And this tomato will continue to grow all the way until frost. And then we'll pick these tomatoes. The next group of tomatoes will come in here, and they'll just keep going up. We lower them down so we can do all the work here about waist high. So we hope you've enjoyed, again, these tips from Statesville, North Carolina, and hope you have a large day. Thank you. Here's a little more detail on what a sucker looks like. The main stem grows up, branches or shade leaves grow out at a 90-degree angle, and at that juncture, growing out at a 45-degree angle is the sucker that you want to pinch off.